Just a second. I'm so sorry. I forgot to record. Shri, are you also doing the same? Okay. I'm so sorry. I just forgot to record this meeting. So welcome everyone to Homeopathy Musings today. I, Dr. Manali Kesarkar, welcome you all. And I wish you all my Indian fellow doctors, a very happy Gudi Padwa or a very happy Ugadi. I hope this new year brings health, wealth and prosperity in everyone's life. And I hope the COVID situation, as it has gone down and all the restrictions have been taken up in Maharashtra, it happens all over India. So a positive sign or a positive beginning to everything, I feel, today. So just before we start today's session, I'll like to give you a few introductions about the remedy of the month that we do generally. For an in-depth learning on our Musings WhatsApp group. So for this month, the remedy of the month is boa constrictor. So we'll try to cover boa in all its aspects, be it the keynotes, the repertoire, rubrics wise, and sensation and PM method. And you all are free to share your successful cases of boa on the Musings WhatsApp group, and we'll publish a few of those cases on our Musings newsletter and in the form of a blog. So last month, the remedy of the month was sulfur, and we have published a few cases that we received. You can check the newsletter. We have shared it on our WhatsApp group and you can check it. Yeah. So if you have any successful cases of boa, you can start sharing so that we'll have all the boa energy in the group, and with the discussions going on, we'll learn and in depth about boa, which is not a much known remedy. So all its aspect, your practical experiences you could put, and how did you reach to the remedy, the analysis you can put on the group. And we'll be definitely sharing every week a different aspect of boa for your learning purpose. And in the end of the month, we'll compile everything and we'll send it to you all as a learning along with the cases. So do share your cases with us. We have this upcoming module starting from tomorrow, known as Repertory Intensive 2.0. Last year, we did the same Repertory Intensive with a different set of speakers. We have Dr. Arshi, Dr. Kushala, Dr. Alpesh, and Dr. Pallavi with us, who will be taking the sessions on repertory every Sunday from 7 to 9 p.m. And there will be different topics, and repertory would be explored from all its aspect, and how you could integrate it in your practice will be the learning. You could enroll for a single session or the entire series as well. Since the session is starting tomorrow, do let us know if you wish to join us for this series. The recordings will be available post the session for 2 months to view for unlimited viewing. So if you want to register for the session, now is the time. You can contact us. For today's session, we have Dr. Reni Shah with us, and we all know she's a very dear friend of Dr. Preeti and Dr. Prajakta, and she's a mentor to all of us. She had done the basic course, Basics in Contemporary Homeopathy course with us last year, and she's been associated with Musing since the start. It's been 2 years. We'll be completing 2 years with Musings on the 10th of April, that is the Homeopathy Day. So she's been there with us since a long time, and her learning, her understanding and going in depth with the cases is something we look forward to. So today Dr. Reni is going to take case study, and she'll be integrating classical and contemporary approaches. So we are looking forward to your cases. I hope the cases were sent to you all prior and you have analyzed it from your understanding, and we'll be taking it, we'll keep it an interactive session today so that you can share your analysis as well and how your thought process was to study the case. So some basic hygiene factors, like I say always, you mute your lines, you can ask your questions on the comments, and we'll take the questions as and when possible, or at the end of the session or at the end of the case. And you can, don't try to multitask, just make notes, share your experience, and moreover enjoy the session. If you have any questions and difficulties, you could write to us on homeopathymusings@gmail.com or call or WhatsApp us on the clinic coordinator's number, or to us, to me, Dr. Manali and Dr. Sri Lakshmi. You can contact us. So without further ado, we'll start with today's session. I'll just stop sharing my screen. Ma'am, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
You can just start sharing your screen. So thank you, ma'am, for coming today. And we are looking forward to today's session and the analysis part.
Sure. So happy Gudi Padwa to all the participants. Today is a new year of all the Maharashtrians, and even as a Gujarati, we all celebrate Gudi Padwa. It's a festival day, but thanks all of you to come for this session on your holiday. So today's topic what I have taken, integrating classical and contemporary. This idea came in my mind because last when I spoke, I did basic course, and last 7-8 months I have been talking with the people who have attended the basic course, and those who are struggling initiating their practice or struggling in their practice. They still come up and tell me that it's not that easy to practice these new methods. We are happy with the old method, and this new method is too complicated or too abstract, or there is too much of theory. So I just want to share my own experience in my clinic, that what I have been doing all these years. Like, we learn the basics from the college, but we add our knowledge by attending clinics. Initially, we had only seminars by Dr. Shankar, and very few teachers used to give seminars, but we used to go and attend. Then later on, many new approaches I started learning, because every case, and if there is a problem in a case, I would search, like, how can I treat this patient in a better way? Like, few of the patients, like, they responded very well, they didn't need any further line of thinking. But there were many cases where I thought maybe I did repertorization, I did case taking, I tried to understand this patient, but why this patient is coming back again and again, or why this patient left me? There are two type of questions. So that always made me go and learn something new. I never kept myself away from learning new. Yeah, whatever I learned, I try to apply in my practice, and what if it works, I continue applying it. If it doesn't work, I leave it aside. So that's the way I build up my practice. I see my cases, like, I start with the case taking what I learned in the college. Like, tell me about your complaints, detailing of the complaints, sensation, modalities, concomitants, everything I do till today. And then I take my patient little ahead. Then I try to go into the deeper realm of the case. Sometimes history is very difficult. Then I collect the data, whatever is available, repertorization, then understanding with the new method, like sensation method, PEM method. Then see in the cases, like, what is past history, what is family history, and going with the miasmatic background, going with the family history. So we will see this in today's cases. We'll try to learn this together today, and I really want an active participation. This case one I have shown somewhere else, so maybe few of you might know about this case one, but I wanted that a larger group should see this case, so I've got this case today. Okay, you can see, no, Manali?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So this is the case one, case of Miss HS, who came to me in July 19. So this is one of those patients who comes with a lot of faith. I took the history in 2010. She came with atopic dermatitis, like extensive atopic dermatitis and eruptions on the scalp. I I worked on her case. I gave few remedies, but the atopic dermatitis just went on increasing and she stopped the treatment. But she had so much of faith in homeopathy that she came back to me on in 2014 again. Then again another new history, another technique I applied, another way of understanding I tried. I gave her some rare remedy. Initially, she gave a good response, but then later on, this atopic dermatitis started flaring up, and she just could not bear it. And I only told her, like, if you are unable to bear it, maybe you can take allopathy, because I was not getting her remedy. But see the patience and perseverance in the patient. She came back after 4 years again to me. And what happened? Like this skin complaint was better. Like in 2014, when she took allopathy, she was all better for 4 years, and this relapsed in 2019 January. But before that, in October 18, she came up with very severe pain in both the shoulders. And initially, she went to physiotherapist, but it didn't get better. Then she went to an orthopedic doctor. He advised her to do MRI, and then there was a C5 C6 cervical herniation. A girl who is just 24-year-old coming up with cervical herniation and degenerative changes. So initially, she did physiotherapy. Then orthopedic doctor gave her some injections, some medications. She was advised complete rest, and then lot of physiotherapy going on and on. And then she would keep following it with orthopedic doctor. So at one point, the doctor told her that on clinical examination, I don't see anything now. From my side, I can say you are better, you are cured. But why your pain is not going, I don't understand. So he said, now what I will give you is maybe some anxiolytic or some higher painkiller. Instead of that, I would suggest that go back to a homeopathic doctor you were consulting before. So that's how she came to me. So I asked her, describe your complaint. So she said, my main problem is stiffness. I'm better for 10 days and again, just 1 minute. And then it comes up again after 10 days. I could not finish and push my CA finals. Like when in 2014, she came to me, she had already given CA entrance exam and she was struggling to clear her IPCC level, the second level. I think she had already given one trial and then she had not passed it. So in that 2-3 years, she cleared that second level of IPCC. CA exam, and then she was doing her articleship, and this was the time when she was supposed to appear for CA finals, and she developed this pain, so she could not appear in October. So in May 19 attempt, I had no writing practice. So after writing, somebody's record. Can you please unmute? Yeah, thank you. In May 19 attempt, I had no writing practice. So after writing one exam, I got severe neck pain and then did not give other exams. No, sorry, it was not May 19. I think it was October. Tell more. I feel it gets clogged. But tu pakadai jai che. Physio is not the solution. Since last 6 months, I am at home. My articleship got over and since then I am at home. This is hitting me very high. I can't work. I can't lift weight. I can't put my backpack. Even a sling bag hurts me. So I have to change positions every 15 minutes. So I told her, describe your pain. It's a piercing pain at one point and it goes through and through. It radiates and it spreads everywhere. Stiffness of all the muscles. Looking behind is very difficult. All my attention is on the pain. Now the piercing pain is only 10%. Stiffness is more. My muscles do not allow me to do anything. It troubles me a lot. Sometimes this pain radiates to neck and gives me headache. My head gets heavy. Especially the center of the head is very heavy. I have tingling in my wrist. Initially, it was only on right side, but now left is also affected. In one session of physiotherapy, like whenever she would go, she would have one problem, which is very severe. So the physiotherapist would give her a treatment for that part. Next time she would have some another problem. So that another part is treated. So that physiotherapy is just on and on. Almost 6 months she was taking physiotherapy. Last 3 days, like when she had come to me, she said this pain has come to my left palm. It is very difficult to grasp anything. Like typical neurological symptoms. I can't open the door to left with left hand. All my pains increases in the evening and at night. Mornings they are better. So better by rest. I have not taken any painkiller after initial course. I can't sit for more than 1 hour. Every 1 hour I have to get up. Every 4 hours I have to lie down. Any other problems? I have bloating of stomach, severe pain during menses, cramps and giddiness during periods. It's an unbearable pain. Skin itching and scratching is still there. So those atopic symptoms were also there. I can't sit without scratching somewhere. On scalp, there are thick flakes which comes out on scratching. It's not dandruff. They were little thicker than the dandruff, but not we can't say it was psoriasis, like it was an in-between stage between dandruff and the psoriasis. My tolerance is very low. If my pains are better, I start scratching. I feel everything is going wrong. Nothing is going right in my life. Why me? Why I can't live like a normal 24-year-old girl? I want to study. I want to work. I feel useless sometimes. I want to move forward in my life. I am not able to do anything. I try to study and something happens to me and then I cannot study. Every day I decide I will do this much study, but something happens and I am not able to do it. I'm scared that this situation will become permanent. And then she wept for a very long time. Like she was completely in a very low, we can say almost a level of a depression. Like she was in a very bad mental state. She kept on weeping for almost half an hour. She was telling her symptoms, but she was weeping along with that. I don't want to leave my CA studies because if I change now, I have to put more effort in the other course than CA studies. Like if you all are aware about, like CA, final CA needs at least 4 to 5 months of intense preparation. And that's where she was struggling. I used to go to gym in 2016 and 17. Like she talks about the past, like how much better she was when she was doing her articleship after she cleared the IPCC exam. Like she said, I had lost around 7 to 8 kg. I was able to lift half kg weights. And then suddenly all this started. And in last 6 months, I put on 5 kg. I can't do any exercise. I can't go for a walk also. I feel I am going behind in my life. I'm falling down. I get upset when people ask me about my studies and career. I face a lot of negative thoughts, but I give them answers. I'm exhausted. I'm always scared that if I slip down into negativity, I may not be able to come up. If I overcome my negative thoughts, my pain and scratching starts again. I open my book, but nothing is registered in my mind. It's not that I don't want to study, but I'm not able to study. In last 1.5 months, I did whatever I liked, like meeting friends. She just kept all her books aside and she thought, let me enjoy life, because she went through that intense pain episode. And then when she recovered, she started meeting friends. She started reading novels, watching online serials. And then again, when she started to study, I could not do it. For generals like sleep, she said, I have a very deep sleep. Like somebody with so much of pain and so much of negativity in life may not get sleep. But she said, I have a very deep sleep. And I always feel it's not enough. Like she had told me, like morning when I get up, I'm never fresh. Dreams, I don't recollect any dream. But I have fear of being stuck in same place and not successful. I was late in completing my IPCC exams. I'm scared of being stuck, like being mediocre. I'm scared of being an accountant and not a CA. I'm not being productive. I'm not able to understand things at high level. I'm just basics of everything. I just know basic, like she said, but I'm not able to achieve little higher than that. And that was the struggle. I feel stuck at same place financially too. I don't want to be very rich, but I want a comfortable life. She liked ice cream, sweets. She had a lot of stomach issue like bloating and flatulence. Especially if I drink milk at night, I get a lot of bloating. Can't eat outside food. I have to go for motion frequently when my stomach is upset. I do not feel satisfied. Evening, I always feel low. My pain also increases in the evening. So I asked her specify. So she said, I feel depressed in the evening after 6 p.m. What time is the hardest? That time is the hardest for me. It hits me. After 4 p.m., I give up. I decide now I will do it next day. Perspiration less, but it smells very badly. And especially underarms. And heat aggravates. Then I went through her previous history again, and few things which I connected with the case was like she said and initial both the history she had talked a lot about friends and being in the group and needing a company, and she said I don't like to stay alone and I want to be a successful person. This she had told before also, and no dreams. But when I asked what she likes to dream about, she had told me that I am a successful person. I have completed all my duties. Like even when she was young, first time I think when she came, she was 17, 18, 16, 17, and then at I think 20. One of the case she had talked this. Then milk aggravation. She had told me like from birth, she gets flatulence from milk. And she said, I'm lazy by nature. I don't help my mother in any work. So I think I complete the case here. Any suggestions? You can write in chat or you can just talk whatever you have thought about. If you have read the case before or just now, any thought, any suggestion?
Hello, Reni.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I share my analysis?
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you like to
You are on
start my
the
reading?
laptop? You just read all,
Okay.
or else I'll stop sharing. You share.
Okay, fine. Okay. So, so basically, as the case goes on and what comes in my mind during every phase, or every sentence, that usually I see, whether it's a sensation, whether it's a miasm, or whatever it's plain symptom, whatever it is, and then in toto, I see the case at last. Okay, that is my usual pattern of analysis.
Yeah.
So as I go on reading. So it's a neck clogged up. So it might be a sensation, clogged up. Let's see what happens. Stiffness, that is one of the sensation. It's 10 days, it's there, 10 days, it's not there around. So it is a malarial miasm. I don't fix myself when I go through, but it just comes in while reading the case. I can't work, I can't lift up the weight. So there is a something hindrance and obstruction is there, which is again going to malarial miasm, being obstructed, hindered. Piercing pain, again it's a sensation, one of the sensation. Pain radiating, again the stiffness comes. My muscles do not allow me to do anything. So it gives us glimpses of one versus the other, or personalizing the part. This is causing me this. So usually we see this personalization of the part in animal cases. But I am not fixed still. No, nothing. Just I am reading and going on. Head vertex heaviness. That is, heaviness is again a sensation. Tingling, it's sensation. So many sensations. There is no one sensation which is one and the opposite we can see. Stiff, clog, piercing, tingling, heavy. And so it's usually in dicotyledon, we see the opposite sensation. Though the depth of the case is not right now, we have not touched the depth of the case, but somewhere it should come, so many sensations. And when usually so many sensations, it's again a एनिमल केसेस में ऐसे हो सकता है. But one of the complaint, one of a feature what I have found out is she is finding the sickness. आज ये हो गया, वो कल हो गया, ये हो गया. So it's not a reality. I mean, it's definitely a reality because C5, C6 there is a herniation and degeneration. So there is some local pathology, but every time the change in the symptoms so much that gives me a clue that she might be finding a sickness. But we have to find out why if she is finding, then why she is doing such thing. Pain ameliorated by in the morning, so it's a real pure symptom, or we can take as a modality if it is a real, she is very restless. I feel everything is going wrong, nothing is going right in my life. Again, there is a feeling of unfortunate feeling. Why me? Unfortunate. Why me? So again, it comes a malarial miasm. Why me? And unfortunate. I want to move forward in my life, but not able to do anything. Again, this obstructed, hindered feeling of malarial miasm. I am scared that this situation will become permanent. It gives a psychotic trait, and as we know, malarial miasm is acute plus psychotic. So it's a psychotic trait still. During this exercise, she was doing unable to do कुछ half weight भी मैं ले नहीं सकती हूँ. Even half a weight she can't lift up. I try to go for walk, but not regularly. So she is giving some or the other reasoning. Just not to, she is not एकदम ऐसे conscientious or about that. She is given this reason, and just reasoning out. ऐसे फालतू के reasons हम जो बोलते हैं वो. I am always scared that if I slip down into negativity, I may not able to come out. So again, it gives a psychotic trait. These mental and physical symptoms are alternating. That can be taken as a direct symptom. It seems to be
just 1 minute. A mental and the physical alternating, I didn't understand.
I mean, she said na when I kuch wo boli, when I think of this, my physical symptoms goes, and again it's there. Just you go read again that
No,
line.
It was not like that.
No, Reni, there is something, I don't have the wordings in front of me, but there is something like that. Some mind and physical.
No, it is not alternating. It is one thing gets better, another thing comes up. It is not alternating.
So,
but always something is there. Always there is something. Like if she tackles, she's trying to study. If she's trying to study, then her physical complaints come back. Then she thinks that I want to study, but physical complaint is not allowing me to study. Then she puts up the studies aside. Then something else comes up. Like it goes
okay, so it's a continuation of one or the other. Yeah. No issues. Okay, fine. So if so her problem is more of a functional, and seems to be more of a functional. That is same. That she is giving some or the other reason. Fear of stuck in same place. Again, they stuck. Only thing they stuck is not explored. Just stuck. What is stuck? Whether any hand gestures along with stuck is there. That is to be explored. What I thought. And that stuck is giving rise to not being successful. She is not successful due to that. I am a mediocre. So this mediocre is again, it comes usually in the image, third row image problem, that I am not this, like that. Just an accountant and not CA. I am not being a productive. So what is the effect of everything is on the productivity, what I feel. So the effect of the problem is in some action or activity level. So usually this is not in the animal issues or plant issues. It comes in the mineral issues when problem is with the activity. The problem causing something at the action level.
Pankaj, just 1 minute. If you have
Yeah.
any repertorial totality or something like, so we can little
Okay.
bit shorten and
Yeah.
other people can
Fine.
do
No
the.
issues. Yeah. So, okay, I will share
Yes.
my screen. 1 minute. Should I share my screen?
Yeah.
Uh, can you see the?
No.
No. So
Manali, you might have to allow him to share.
I guess he can share. I have given him the. Sir,
okay.
can you
So
try?
No, we can't see.
I have to go to share screen. Yeah, Manali. Yeah. So when I went to share screen and then how to
Then a tab appears in front of you. You can share on the upper left. On the upper
1 minute.
left corner, there is a share your entire screen. A tab would be there where the option would be screen. Then your entire screen would be displayed, sir.
On the on Zoom meeting on left upper.
No, sir. Left upper, wherever you see the icon to mute, unmute yourself. In the same
That
line,
is
there is a share screen, green icon. It could be there to share your screen. There is an option of participant chats.
Oh yeah. So see, mute and stop video is there on the left side.
Yes, sir.
Left side. So there are only mute and stop video. Only two icons are seen. Whatever you are telling about the green one, that I am not able to see that green one. One thing is share screen, which is green here on the middle.
Yeah, right. That itself, sir.
So that तो I मैंने वो click किया मनाली.
Then what is coming on your screen?
It's screen, whiteboard, iPad,
Screen,
and
click on screen, sir. Screen.
oh,
Click
okay,
on
fine.
screen and then you show.
Yeah, now.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it's visible, sir.
Oh, nice, good. So whatever symptoms are there, I took all the symptoms. Okay. Should I read delusion, imagination, hindered, unfortunate, feels, finding sickness, delusion, imagination, sick she is, evening 6 to 9 p.m. aggravation, doubtful recovery, mind okay, delete this. Mind delusion, imagination, succeed that he cannot, craving for sweet, milk aggravate, distension, milk after, stomach milk aggravate, perspiration offensive, mind company desire for, mind anxiety success from doubt of. So I took all this and it comes okay. So it's a Merck, Lyco, sepia, calcarea, sulfur. Then what I did, I took only which are the fixed symptoms. Those can't, that is, you can't doubt it, So evening 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. aggravation, craving for sweet, milk product aggravate, stomach milk aggravate, and perspiration offensive. They are definitely there.
Yes, correct.
So after that, this sulfur, China, Lyco, and nitric acid comes. Okay. What I felt then, this China is coming, which is in malarial miasm, and China is there. But if we see that China is in Labiata, sorry, it's in family of China,
Rubiaceae.
So that Rubiaceae ka sensation jo hai na, that is not seen here. So many ideas, stimulation and everything. So it doesn't fit together. Though it comes, it doesn't fit together. So next is Lyco, and it seems to be Reni, Lyco is a monocot.
No, it's an ancient plant.
But it is not a monocot.
No.
Oh, okay, fine. ठीक है. So I thought of a Lycopodium in this case. because evening rise, that bloating is there. This she feels herself as a very low, but she wants to grow more at higher CA and that thing. So it seems to be Lyco for me. As a if we see as a plant, and if we want to whether it's a dicot or monocot, what I felt at one time that she's telling about herself continuously. I. Nobody other thing is there, so it might be a some from the monocot. I don't have much knowledge about the monocot, so at this juncture, I will give Lyco.
Yes, very good. Very, very well repertorized and analyzed. Only thing I don't agree is this malarial miasm initial part.
I mean,
At
initial part means
least feigning sickness, no, many a times we perceive while taking the case, but I didn't see this feigning sickness.
okay.
Pankaj, can you stop sharing your screen?
Yes, definitely.
Anyone else wants?
Yes, ma'am. There are a few suggestions on the chat box.
Yeah, I
So
read.
Dr. Tejaswini said that sensitivity like plants, restlessness, stiffness or pains, and skin affections. So she was thinking of rust ox. And Dr. Chayalada said sensitivity is very marked. Me myself issues. Then delusion succeed. He does everything wrong. He cannot. Plant monocot bamboos is the suggestion of Dr. Chaya. And Samina Kapasi saying simisifuga due to wandering pains, oversensitive depression, myalgias, action on nerves and muscles. And Dr. Neelam is saying something from mineral.
Yeah. So anyone wants to say anything besides what Dr. Pankaj has given in his analysis? Like he's really worked very well the case, the entire case. I really appreciate.
Dr. Upma is also saying
Lycopodium.
Yeah. And Dr. Alpa is saying a monocot.
Yeah. So anyone wants to speak anything, or I should go ahead how I thought about this case, and because there is a very long follow-up, so and which is where there is where there is also a lot of learning in the follow-up also. Should I go ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So I also started thinking on the line what Dr. Pankaj thought about, like there are sensations, different kind of sensations. But in 2014, no, I had worked a lot on this case with this sensation method, and I had failed. So then I said I really have to understand where is the problem and what has to be treated. So anybody can you tell me what really needs to be treated in this case? Why? First question comes is the why. That a young girl, 24-year-old young girl, coming up with a prolapse and a degenerative changes in the cervical spine, a very, very deep pathology. At 24-year, degenerative changes, not easy. But then you have a history of suppressed eruption. So that's where how these eruptions, if they are suppressed, and if the state is not being treated well, where it can take you. It took her to a cervical spondylosis. And this was the time. If I don't treat her, like you can imagine where she can go next. So I have to treat her cervical spondylosis. I have to treat the skin problems, which will come back while treating the cervical spondylosis. And I have to treat something much deeper from the entire state, which is causing this whole issue, which I never understood initially when she came. She was young. This time at 24, maybe she was even able to express things in a much better way. So what I saw in this case, she's a very ambitious person who is not ready to take failures. Do you all agree? Like, she wants to achieve, not lost her. And she, most important, like somebody in her state, like somebody with a severe cervical spondylosis, not able to write, we would just say, okay, no, I'm not going to give any CA exam. I can't write this 3 hours long paper and 8 papers, and that too, you're not sure how many trials I have to give. But she was very sure, I want to become CA. She had not lost that ambition, not lost her hopes trying, but she falls, and every time she falls back, either her neck starts paining, hand starts paining, something happens. So I do not want to be a mediocre. That was the main issue with her. I want to be a special person. What happens is every time she tries to get up, her physical complaints come up and she's unable to rise. So this is not a feigning sickness, but it is the very, very deeper state as coming up, which is not allowing her to go ahead with her ambition. So something is very deep down, which we really have to understand in this case. So even I repertorize this case. I also put up few of the rubrics like Pankaj, like ambition, fear of failure, stress of breaking down under. Then one thing I saw that she's very obstinate and headstrong. She has this thinking that I want to do CA. Whatever happens, I will sit, study, and I will give this exam. Desire sweets, desire ice cream, drink, desire milk, and very important, evening 6 to 9 p.m. aggravation. So similar to Pankaj, even I got almost similar remedies in my repertorization: calcarea, lyco, sulfur, phosphorus. So on this understanding of Lycopodium, what we know also, and what I learned during my during the seminars like I was attending with Dr. Mahesh Gandhi, we learned a lot about ancient plant, and that's where I really understood what is Lycopodium. That we'll discuss little later. So I gave her Lycopodium. I started with a very low potency because I knew there will be an aggravation. The skin will definitely come back. And I have seen her in a worse state of her skin condition. So I gave her 31 dose and then 200 after a week. So after 1 month, she said, my pain has reduced, stiffness is better, bloating and constipation are same, dysmenorrhea is better. I started studying, my focus is better. I'm not sure, should I appear for this November 19 exam? Because she had come to me in, I think, February or something. No, October 19. I don't remember, it's there. So then in October 19, the real problem started coming out. The skin problem increased, the boils on the scalp, itching and scratching over the neck, pain increases and decreases, period, PMS reduced a lot, moods are much better. Like after almost 1.5 months, I saw a smile on her face. Like I used to call her every 15 days or something, but first 2 follow-ups, still she was in that sad, low, almost a depression kind of a mood. But after 1.5 months, I saw a smile. So I again repeated 200. But the skin symptoms and the boils on the scalp had started coming back. Pains were much better November 19, but she didn't appear because she didn't have studied during this period. She didn't appear for the exam. Skin increases and decreases. I was very cautious in repeating, and then I thought, now what? Should I repeat 200? What should I do? How should I tackle this entire case? Any suggestion what we should do at this stage? Because remedy had started working, but the suppressed skin eruptions had started coming up. Yes, somebody is writing LM potency. Same thing I did. I went to LM potency. I gave her 0/3. With LM potency, what started, like both the things started improving simultaneously. Pains also better and the skin also started getting improved. Like physiotherapy also, I used to insist that you reduce your physiotherapy session, you reduce. So she, from 4, I think, then 3, and then twice a week she started going. February also, she said, my pains are much better. Then I told her, you start doing writing practice if you want to appear for the exam. So she started doing that. Then she got a job. Like she said, I'm not earning all these years. I'm dependent on my parents, and these exams is in the May. I'm not sure will I be able to give or not, but I'm getting a job offer. So I took up a job. And then the lockdown thing happened. So anyways, the exams got postponed. But then she quit the job in June. She said, no, this job, I'm not very happy also. And I want to pursue my CA. So by the time, like she was continuously on Lyco 0/3. And in June, I went up little higher. I always thought maybe my medicine will show her a real situation that maybe she's not capable of doing CA. Maybe her capability is not there. So if the remedy is right, she might drop the idea of CA. But after lipo, she started getting better, and her desire to give the exam and study became more stronger. So I said, let whatever happens, let it happen. And then in this November 20, she gave exam, like almost struggling for 3 years. She could sit for CA final exam, and she gave only one group, like 4 papers. And she came to me in December. She said, I'm very happy that I could write all the 4 papers. That was an achievement. She said, I know I will not be able to clear this exam, and I have already started preparing for the next time. See the desire, see the zeal in her, and see the how our medicines are helping her to go towards her goal, her ambition. Then January 21, she said, I'm much better. Period things also getting better. Sweating order has also reduced. Skin was much, much better. Scalp also, those boils, those seborrheic dermatitis kind of those patches, thick crust coming out. Everything had really improved. I get it. And my sleep has become less. See what a, like when I had taken her case first time, she said, I have a very deep sleep. So that part I had not understood initially, but after giving, she said my sleep has become less. I'm more fresh in the morning. So that lethargy, that dullness, that laziness, everything had gone. Previously, I needed more sleep and I never woke up fresh. Now with this, she's much better. So in January, I decided let's stop. Like almost for a long time, I gave her LM potency, so I stopped it. And she was better. In March, she again came that for 2 months, I could focus very well, but again, my focus is reducing. So again, I started. Otherwise, other things were better. So I started with 0/5. But in April, the entire family got corona. So she already had 0/5 with her, but I thought maybe I should give her 200 potency. And then I gave her 200 just for 2-3 days, and that was a Delta wave. And her mother had to be admitted because she was already an asthmatic, and she developed pneumonia. So she was in the hospital. But this girl, she improved just in 2-3 days. I hardly 2 or 3 doses of Lycopodium in water. And in May 21, she came up with again the skin symptom has increased. Here at that time, I introduced 1 dose of sulfur. I thought maybe she needs something antimiasmatic, something, because this corona has also happened, and there was a lot of stress because mother was quite sick. She came home and then her oxygen dropped down, so she had to look after the house, her mother. Mother was quite sick for almost 2-3 months. So that time I gave her 1 dose of sulfur, and again I started with Lyco 0/5. Then in between she didn't come for 1 or 2 months because she was busy with this. Mother took a very long time to recover. She said I did not appear for CA exam because I could not study. Like she got corona and she stopped studying, and then she could not study because of the family home responsibility. And she said I took up a job. She got an offer from a multinational company. She said, this is my dream job, which I always wanted to do. So I took up this job, and I was not taking medicine since 1 month, but I was all okay. I want to go ahead. I'm getting many job offers. Suddenly, many jobs had started coming to her. And then that thought had started coming, am I capable of doing this much work? This multinational, they need 12 to 14 hours commitment. But she had taken up that challenge. and new things started coming. She started getting a lot of pimples on the face. There are too many pimples, and the body odor had increased. And yeah, and during that phase, she had a boyfriend and they got engaged. Like 2-3 months when she didn't come, all these things had happened. So I just happened to see this boils on the face and offensive smell of the perspiration and profuse perspiration. And I thought maybe because she took up a job, the desire for this ambition to become a CA, I could really see now that is mellowing down. She's not talking much about giving exam, but moving forward in the life, like that what she wanted to do. So I just repertorized those symptoms and I gave her carboanimalist 201 dose. But it didn't do anything. She was SQ. So then I again went back to Lyco. And this time I thought maybe the mental state is not so bad. Let me go to a lower potency. So I started with 0/2. And by that time, she had changed her job because she realized she cannot do this multinational company job 12 to 14 hours. She said, is not my cup of tea. I wanted to see the culture. I saw it. But now I've got a dream job, another very good job. And I think I will continue that. And her marriage date also got fixed. So now in February 22, she got married. She shifted to Pune, where her husband is also having a job, and when she took up a job where a company has an office in Pune, and she shifted there. And for these pimples, like because her wedding was there and with Lyco 0/2 nothing was happening, she had to take some allopathic treatment at the time of wedding. So after she took allopathic treatment, within a 1 month her neck pain came back. So I had already given her this 0/2. She took few doses. I told her just take it for the time till the pain is better and then stop. So I'm still in contact and she's doing quite well. She's able to do the household chores like managing cooking. She and her husband is staying alone, going to the job, doing the job. Like you can imagine in 3 years, a girl who was completely collapsed state, the miraculously healed so well. Our remedies are magic. If she wouldn't have come back for homeopathy, I don't know what state she would have been today. So little bit about Lycopodium. What I told you all, that this confidence about Lycopodium came to me only from the understanding of ancient plant. And this is the chart of ancient plant. And Lycopodium comes in a seedless plant and they are vascular. This is something little higher. I'm just put up this chart. So we'll just read a little bit from Dr. Gandhi. All these notes, what I have written here is from Dr. Gandhi's teaching. So from PEM perspective, ancient plants have all the subclasses and all the row issues. So all those who are aware of subclasses and the rows, you know what I'm talking about. Lycopodium comes into toddler stage with a king-like qualities. As we all know, Lycopodium was a huge tree several thousand years ago, and over the years it reduced to a small fern, the club moss. So main feeling is being small and desire to rise to the same heights. Desire to grow big and lot of effort in becoming bigger, a censorious attitude towards others to establish his own superiority, love of power, reaching a higher position. Ambitious to reach goal that is not easy, can employ any means to achieve success, feels loved only if he achieves in his life. They are intolerant of contradiction, cautious and ambitious. They often work up their way from bottom, especially in business. We knew all the data of Lycopodium, but this understanding that why this is happening in Lycopodium or why Lycopodium has this kind of symptoms, once we understand the entire this ancient plant, how they are, what they were and how they survived and what plants survived and the history behind all these plants, then understanding the remedy and understanding the patient, it becomes very easy. They are not a natural leader. They gradually acquire. It's like they are very small. If you look, type Lycopodium, and if you see, very tiny plant, very tiny. But in ancient days, it was very huge. It was very huge. But the trunk was very thin and fragile. They gradually acquire skills and confidence to exercise authority. Hurried. They are great opportunistic. They love to impress others. They are emotionally detached and flexible. Internal feeling, impotence, a keynote symptom, sense of impotency inside, but may appear confident outside. Loss of power, severe lack of confidence and anticipatory anxiety, fear of undertaking new challenges, cowardice, dictatorial attitude, confident in safety zone. Pankaj, what you said about feigning sickness would be more like cowardice, and not able to handle things and then falling apart. Egoistic, to admit his lack of self-confidence. With this, they have inflation at mental as well as physical level, seen as flatulence, varicose veins and hemorrhoids, fear of being discovered. You see a constant struggle between cowardice and egotism, what we saw in this case. Lack of confidence and haughtiness. See, lack of confidence, at the same time haughtiness. I want to become a CA, but I don't have confidence to even give an exam. Timidity, and that's why the pathology comes up. Timidity and dictatorial attitude. Sentimental and soft-hearted is still in the mother-child relationship. Most genuinely love people. They are very soft-hearted, seek to be accepted. They weep easily. They weep when thanked. Very grateful people. Sentimental, affectionate, and sympathetic. Fear of being alone, dark, ghost, crowd, people, lack of confidence and always struggling to prove that he is good enough. Feels a failure, usually performs better than expected. With time, learn to take challenges, people pleaser, afraid of confrontation. Imaginative and intellectual fear of responsibilities, but once take it, do it perfectly. Senility and dementia, forgetfulness and weakness of memory, immaturity like Baraita, taciturn, quarrelsome and rude with advanced age, depression and despair. So this was Lycopodium. How frequent now? I just last month I gave only for 1 week and then I've stopped. 0/5 was constant almost for 3-4 months. Then I had started reducing. Any other question? Yeah, 0/3 also I was giving once a day, and then 0/5 also once a day. In between, when the aggravation was, the symptoms were more, in between I have given her twice a day also for a few days or maybe a week or something, and then again reduce.
Ma'am, Dr. Jyoti is asking why
carbo
animals? Yeah.
Yeah, Jyoti. Even I when I am seeing her paper, no, I really wonder that why I gave, but maybe that was just that moment she came, and the face was full of pimples. I said, this kind of pimples I've not seen any lipo cases, and I started searching in the repertory, and then I cannot give more explanation than that, and I just gave 1 dose because I have treated bad cases of pimples with carbo veg and carbo animal. So I thought, let me give this remedy, but it didn't work. Yeah, ancient plant is a very big topic, and we plan to do it in some time in this year with Musing, homeopathic healing. I'll show the repertorial analysis.
Reni,
Yeah.
why you didn't thought of sulfur before starting the LM even?
No, but I was very sure of Lyco, so no question of giving sulfur.
Afterwards you gave sulfur 200.
That I gave after Corona. After Corona, I always thought every patient needs some antimiasmatic. Many
Okay.
cases I give tuberculinum, but in this case I gave sulfur because I'll tell you, because her mother also came to me for this very severe drop in the oxygen, and she needed sulfur, and mother really responded well at that time. And at the same time, I gave 1 dose to her also, just with this feeling that she has also gone through this corona, and most of the corona cases, they needed something in 10-15 days after corona, some anti-miasmatic. So I thought I'll give her sulfur, because Lyco, sulfur, we know they follow each other.
Okay,
Ma'am,
thanks.
Dr. Upma has to say something.
Yeah.
So Upma, if you could unmute yourself.
Yeah, can you hear me, Dr. Reni?
Yeah.
So, Dr. Reni, I remember one time, one session of Dr. Gandhi, and he had taken Lycopodium, and one sentence that I can recollect, always about Lyco is, he in his very peculiar style, he would say, he told one sentence that Lycopodium patient, what would he say? He will say, I want to grow big.
Yes.
That is how Sir
Yes.
says, how slowly he will, pressurize on the very important aspect
It's
of
what,
the
like,
remedy. Yeah.
after attending those ancient plant sessions,
Yes.
my confidence on the, I was so sure that the Lyco
Yeah.
is the remedy and nothing else.
Yeah.
So,
And even when you were asking that, what needs to be treated in this girl, like, why behind all the complaints, she's having so many complaints, and so that also, it fits so beautifully in Lycopodium, that it is all about the capacity, that whether she is now, it is a very tiny plant, and the ambition, the what she wants to achieve is very big. So that is creating a lot of pressure in her. She has to achieve, she has to do so many things. And last part of the case taking, if we see what you have done, is all the dreams and all her ambitions. It's all about that. I want to do this, I want to grow big, I want to, dreams are also like that. So that made it very clear, that last part, initial part was, maybe little, I also felt a tinge of sulfur in her. But then that last part when I saw was that, the whole thing revolves around why she's having so many problems is because she herself, maybe she's finding it incapable, that she herself finds herself incapable to achieve so many things. And because she has that inferiority.
And that cowardice and hiding, that she will not show that I'm incapable.
Exactly.
And that is at subconscious level. At her conscious level, it is only her ambition and her disease. That in between thing that she is not capable. I always used to think, like, entire her family, people who knew her, everybody was telling her to change the profession, to change the line. Even I must have told her once or twice, directly, why don't you think, like, this kind of patient, you really had need to do psychotherapy. She would come and sit and weep. But if you tell her to change, she's very fast. No, I won't. And that's what I said, which is this remedy, so much of ambition and so much of hope. Like, she had hope that one day I'll get better and I'll give.
That is also a big, that is also a big
so this
part
soric
of
miasm of Lycopodium, why we say one of the biggest anti-soric remedy, you understand from this. See, many other remedies, if they are into other miasm, like syphilitic or a tubercular miasm remedy, the reaction would be completely different. Though they are extremely ambitious, the reaction after the fall, like after this illnesses, is completely different. But in Lycopodium, they are all ready. I will stand, I will grow. So, very nice case, like one of the
picture perfect case of Lycopodium.
And she had this evening aggravation and all those things, milk aggravation.
That
everything falls into place when you understand the core. And that is where what I am doing here today is integrating. See, Lycopodium we all knew, and even if I would have repertorized, the Lycopodium would have come first, second, or third, and I would have given her. But the confidence to sustain with my Lycopodium, confidence to try different potencies of Lycopodium, confidence to remain with the prescription for last 4 years. That is what happens when you combine your practice with old and new methods. Otherwise, we just keep juggling this remedy, that remedy, anti-miasmatic, intercurrent. All these are required. I'm not saying no, but the confidence comes only with the practice and only with the knowledge. Something, if you keep listening, whatever comes in your way during your case taking, when your patient is in your front of your eyes, you recollect all those things. If it fits, you apply. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't mean that it is of no use. It might fit in some other case. Today's case, just a simple repetition. Next case, just a understanding of the remedy. Third case will be a different thing. So openness is very important. This is my today's lecture is only to remain open. That's what I want to convey with these cases.
Ma'am, there are a few
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah, I saw, but I think they all just one I will answer. Like in LM potency, somebody had asked that when to change the, how to decide when to increase and decrease. That depends, like how we decide about the 200, like I want to give one dose today, and if patient is better, I will not repeat. Same way, if I see a very good follow-up, I will reduce. I might take her to take on alternate days. At the same time, if I see a patient is not good, I might increase the power of the LM potency, or I might increase the repetition. One of the two things I will do. But other question, I think, like they are asking about ancient plant or how to differentiate ambition of subclass 5 and 6. I think I will not take it today.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, shall we go ahead to the second case?
Yeah, I will just share. So this is another 24-year-old female, like same age. Huh? And you might hear few things similar also in this case, little bit. So she came to me in, again, March 2019, almost similar time. Very slow. Like when she started talking, I could barely hear. I thought, why she's very slow? And then slowly, I started understanding her speech. And then I realized maybe she was fumbling on few letters. She had a very beautiful bright eyes, and she had a very long hair and very sharp features. This first observation is always, many a times I write in my paper how the patient enters and how they look. Many a times it is very useful in the final prescription. She said, I have PCOD and I'm putting on a lot of weight. I came to know 2 months back. Just 2 months back, she was diagnosed. She had done some USG. I don't have that report now. She said, I got married in 2017 and initially periods were regular. Like after marriage, this whole problem is started. And then it started getting delayed, and then the flow also reduced. Last period, she had gotten 7th February. She said, recently, I've stopped eating outside food. I've stopped eating bread and sweets. So you can understand that she was eating a lot. And very occasionally now I eat sweets. But I'm still putting on weight. In last 7 months, I put on 12 kg. Like that was, then it was alarming. I said 12 kg. Like she said, a young girl, 24-year-old, who is usually very conscious about the weight, she put on from 59 to 71 kg. And weight gain is from thighs and abdomen, and my skin has become very dull. Initially, the periods were coming every 30-35 days. Then it became 40 days. And then it started getting more and more delayed. Heaviness in the lower abdomen when periods are delayed. Irritability and mood fluctuations with delayed periods. Why I am not getting periods? VP and irritable, would fight with husband on small matters. She said, I'm basically from Surat and I came to Mumbai after marriage in 17. And her husband's younger brother and she, only 3 people were staying together in a rented home. All the other family members are at Surat. And I take a lot of stress. Just imagine a young girl in 2017. So she was just 22-year-old, got married and suddenly coming to Mumbai in a new house where there is no elderly people. Like these are all story behind the story. You just have to understand that how it would be stressful for her. Everything new for her. I keep thinking what will happen. How will I manage the home? I get stressed if the work is not done. Recently, her brother-in-law got married. So she said, now I have a sister-in-law. So it is little better. And our life is a very simple life. She said, I love chocolate, sweets, fruits. Even that we came to know in the first initial conversation only, because she said, I have reduced. So she's a foodie. She loves chocolate, sweets, fruits. Even if I don't get anything else, I can survive only on these three things. She said, I said, what exactly about these sweets? What exactly you like? She said, I love cakes, biscuit, desserts. And she, like, before she started doing this dieting, every day she must eat at least once one of these things, either a chocolate, a full chocolate, or a dessert. I feel very empty if I don't eat. I must eat something. I feel very lonely at home as husband and brother-in-law goes for work, especially evening time. I feel very, very lonely. Recently, I slept at 5:30 p.m. and I got up at 7:30 p.m. I felt very lonely and I started crying. I feel, where am I? Like when she got up from the sleep, no, she felt, where am I? From where I have come and where I am going? She said, I was completely lost when I got up. She said, I'm very sensitive. Anyone talking loudly or rudely to me, I start crying. That day in the dream, like this incident, when she got up at 7:30, her mother was shouting at me and I was telling her, no, no, no. She doesn't remember the exact incidents, but she just remembers this dialogue. And then she had started weeping in the dream and then she got up. And again, she was weeping. She said, I wept for a very long time. She said, I cry very easily. Anything upsets me, I can cry. Many times without reason, I feel sad and lonely, and then she would cry. At Surat, my house was always filled with people, but here I feel very lonely. I was crying every day for 1 year. Like first 1 year, she would feel she would be all alone at home. Husband and brother-in-law would go for the work, so it was very difficult for her to adjust. So we understand, no, the pathology, how it has come, because this is just 2 years story, not like that case where it was from childhood. If you understand, no, that case, the problem was childhood or maybe from birth. Atopic dermatitis was from childhood. So that Lycopodium state she had carried from womb. Here, maybe she had her remedy state, but the problem started just 2 years when she became alone at home. She had to take up the whole responsibility of the family, like husband and brother-in-law. I get attached very fast. I make friends easily. I don't like separation. I don't like friends going away. So you see, somebody who makes friends easily, who gets attached very fast, somebody who always need family, had to come and stay alone in Mumbai, a new city, a new house, and new people, like husband and brother-in-law. I always stayed with family. If any family members goes away, I don't like. Pankaj, can you mute?
I have already muted.
किसी का आवाज आ रहा है तो मुझे लगा तुम्हारा.
No, from where, from whom it is coming, I don't.
I don't like. I start crying. I keep remembering them. Anyone ask me for help, I'm a very helpful. I get angry very easily, angry and irritable. I keep quiet. I don't talk to them. I remember all the past event and I start weeping. I remember my near and dear ones and I weep. I love to read. I love shopping. I like listening to songs. I like cooking. I like traveling. I enjoy traveling. She had studied diploma engineering and she did job for 6 months and then she was doing tuitions at home before marriage. Then I asked her about dreams. She said, I see many dreams. I do all the activities in my dream which I have not done during the day. On asking past history, she said, I feel breathless if I walk fast or if I run. And she had a past history of getting bronchitis frequently, which she didn't tell me. Like maybe she must have told, I've not written here, but later on it comes up. Then past history of operated for cataract before marriage. See, this young girl, 24-year-old young girl, operated for cataract. Very unusual. And that is left eye. And in right eye, she had vitritis, inflammation of the vitreous cavity. Like I had told her to get all her papers, and she got it in the second follow-up, and I saw. And that time she was given a lot of steroids for a long time. And after taking steroid, she had developed a lot of pimples. But as soon as she stopped steroids, it went away. Then I asked about when the repo increased. No, I asked that, do you have any problem in your speech? Because by that time, she had started talking normally. So then she said, yeah, I have stammering in front of new people, especially vowels. E, she had mentioned. I feel shy. I can't speak. Though I want to speak, I cannot. I like to talk. I like to go on stage and talk about, because of this, I can't do. This started in 7th standard. Fear that what they will think about me. I used to take tuitions before, but now I'm unable to do because of this stammering. Like it has increased again. I can't talk to people. I can't call anyone. Like if she calls up, no, initially she's not able to speak only. So she had stopped calling people. I can't talk to friends because of this problem. Fear of darkness. Can't stay alone at home. I feel something will come out of anywhere suddenly. Like I said, what? She said, ghosts, chudel, spirits. I feel chudel will come and kill me. I'm always very, very, very scared of chudel. Then dreams of going out somewhere, dreams of doing things which I want to do during daytime. So I told her, explain a little bit more. Like she said, there is not a single day I've not dreamt. Like entire night, no, many times she just keeps dreaming, and wakes up in the morning, they're unrefreshed. So that many dreams she was getting. Dreams of God, dreams of wedding, dreams of daily activities. Constantly I keep dreaming. Many, many dreams. And all this since college days. Daily events, something which I thought of doing, I do it in the dream, or I see I'm going to wedding, I'm eating at reception, I'm going for shopping and buying a dress, going to temple and animal to do puja. Sometimes I reach in the temple in the evening, and then you can't do puja. There is no kesar, like she's Jain. So she said there is no kesar in the temple to do puja. So multiple dreams she had. I asked her a direct question, anything about animals, any dreams and fears. She said, whatever animal I think of or I see in daytime, I see in the dream. Till now, she had seen elephant, tiger, lion, cow, doe. She said, I have motion sickness. While traveling by car and ship, she starts vomiting. Either I have to sleep or I sit in the front seat in a car, then I vomit less. Motions are regular. Thermally, I cannot bear extremes. If too hot, I get nausea and vomiting. And if too cold, I start crying. Like weeping was her major general symptom. Like I start crying. I cannot bear it, so I start crying. Dust aggravate, I get sneezing. Everything is close and hot, I feel nauseated. Past history, she told about this bronchitis, frequent episodes, and then she had jaundice also. And in family, her elder sister was deaf and dumb, and her mother suffered from depression twice. So this is the history. Anyone? Any suggestions? Tilia, camphora. Anybody?
Yeah, this is also a suggestion.
Yeah. Or maybe anybody wants to just speak few words, like what you understand from this case. Like in previous case, we could reach to a point that what needs to be treated. In this case, what you want to treat. Chocolate, cocculus. Anyone? Yes, Dr. Aarti, do you want to speak anything? Like, say something? Pulsatilla. Okay, so I go ahead. Yes, speak. Aarti.
Good afternoon, Doctor.
Yes.
Good afternoon to everyone. And Reni ma'am, what I felt the main thing in her was that she's come from a place where there were many family members. She was not alone at all. Now she's as if she's feeling very lonely here. It started from there. Also, she had she had steroids taken in 7th standard, so that can also be as a suppressed affections, which could have been that she must be having some problem beginning from there, from that time.
Yeah.
But the main feeling of her coming from Surat to Mumbai had affected her a lot. So also she always talks in dreams, lot dreams. She's talking only about the temple thing, the shopping, wedding, very basic things and basic routine lives. So in that way, I thought the development wise, she was in the earlier on the left hand side of the periodic table. So I thought the Kali, because Kali covers this development, as well as the main feeling of Kali is fearful and feeling very alone, which affects him the most, and at the same time the patient is irritable and crying. So loving to have friends and shopping and all, I felt to be in a phosphorus element, and hence I thought of Kali Phos.
Yes, very good.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, so now people are there are some more suggestions: pulsatilla, cannabis indica, magnesium. Then Mamta, do you want to speak? Toddler with dreams of unsuccessful efforts.
Hello, good afternoon, Reni.
Yeah.
You know, this case seems very much parallel to the first case, because there's some aspect of that, you have come from to a new place. And then that type of anticipatory anxiety which she faces in coping up with this new place, whether I'll be, how I'll do, what I'll do, and all that. Plus, if you see, she's also talking about the stammering when she faces people. So these aspects about the type of anticipatory anxiety in new situations is there in 2-3 areas in her case, which shows that type of timidity, and that type of new situations causes a lot of pressure to her. It means I felt that somewhere either she's on the same lines of Lyco or something parallel to Lyco, which you want to present.
Yes.
This was something which I caught in the case. I'm not coming to any remedy, but this is something which caught my attention.
Yes. Dr. Mamta, you've written a lot of things. Do you want to speak? Share your thoughts. Okay.
Hello. Yeah, actually, I couldn't also come to the remedy, but I was thinking a lot, like to be her very naive kind of a personality, who is very weak and timid, and is not able to adjust to the new surroundings. And definitely stammering is also toddler, and this dreams of unsuccessful efforts can be toddler. She's also like you said, there was car sickness, which is toddler. Cataract, if we are seeing in a very early stage, it is high, either some higher miasm, like late miasm. It can be syphilitic.
Yeah.
And
sure.
anxiety being low.
And eye affection, vitritis, inflammation of the eye. This family history, past history, sometimes I really put a lot of pressure. Like when I'm not getting good result, no, I go back to all these illnesses in the past to understand the case in more depth.
So I was also thinking that she belongs to a natrum line.
Yes.
And the mineral I was not able to still go to, very much like similar to the first case. Either can be Delinidae, as everybody was saying, chocolate. But chocolate is like attachment and detachment. Yeah. So it can be one of those. But then she was missing those people and was not able to stay alone.
Yeah.
That was the main thing.
Nobody had detached from her. This
Yeah,
was
nobody was detached. So chocolate, I was not thinking about it. Very looks very much like Lyco, yeah, but not Lyco.
Yeah. So I'm really enjoying. So lots of people are taking part in the discussion, and it's really nice to see that everybody is. Though you all must have had a heavy lunch, festival day, nobody is sleeping. So let's go ahead. What I thought in the case. So this case also I repertorized. And I took all these rubrics, many rubrics I took. And like first thing she had told, no, that I love chocolate, I love sweets, I love fruits. Like that was so important. So I just put all those things initially only. I did not put it down. I took it up. Then in this case also time modality. See 6 to 9 p.m. aggravation. Like evening, she said around 6:37, no, she used to feel very dull and low. So I took this twilight kind of thing, 6 to 9 p.m. but twilight. Company desire. Then Miril, like friends were very important, and I could not get the appropriate rubric. So I put this Miril's theme, friends. Like then speech stammering. Then there is one very nice rubric, like dreams heard, read, talked, or thought about. I'm not very good at repertory. One thing I would say, no, many a times I really have to search for rubrics. Fear of ghost, then timidity appearing in the public, and then irritability menses before, and all these symptoms. So many new common remedies came up, like Lyco, Phosphorus, Pulsatilla. And then like PCOD patient, amenorrhea, per patient who is weeping constantly. First remedy, what comes in our mind? No? Pulsatilla. Half of the time, patient just comes and we have given Pulsatilla, no? Many a times we have given. It's now that we are realizing the right constitutional remedy. So I thought this is a lot of clear-cut Pulsatilla case. Let me give Pulsatilla. Why choose any other remedy? So I gave her Pulsatilla 1M. Nothing happened. Then I thought maybe there is a block. She had taken so many steroids. So I gave her 1 dose of cortisone. Nothing happened. So then I said, no, now I have to think about, I have to sit and understand this case. Like 22nd April, she came, she said, I've not got periods. My mood swings are same. Weeping episodes are same. She said, fears are little less. So then I went back to my repertoire. I said, I have not, Lycopodium, Phosphorus, Pulsatilla, 3 remedies were there. I have not thought about first 2 remedies. Let me think, read these remedies, and then I will go ahead and do more deeper understanding. So I started reading Materia Medica, another way of understanding the patient. And I opened Phosphorus from Fatak's Materia Medica. Mind, anxious, fears being alone at twilight, of ghost, about future, of thunderstorm, as if something creeping out of every corner. Quickly prostrated by unpleasant impressions, timid and irresolute, melancholy, disinclined to work, study, converse, weary of life, sheds tears, or with attack of involuntary laughter. I never knew this part of phosphorus, that phosphorus can weep. Like this weeping, the amount of weeping and crying episodes she talked, no, I thought I had ruled out phosphorus from first impression only. Destroys everything, spits at nurse, kisses who comes near her, apathy, indifference even towards her own children, insanity with exaggerated ideas of one's own importance, grandeur. Any lively impression is followed by heat, as if immersed in hot water. Clairvoyant, weeps before menses, wants sympathy, laughs at serious matter. Anxious, restless, patient cannot sit or stand still for a moment, especially in dark or twilight. So beautiful. Like it was like patient was talking the entire materia medica. And then I checked in eye symptom. And we all know that phosphorus is a very, very good eye remedy. Still, I thought, does it have anything to do with vitreous liquid, like that part? So here I saw that vitreous opacities and inflammation of the eyes and all types of pathology possible is there in phosphorus, eye pathology. That much I know. Like you can read all these things in the books. So then I was confident, no, this patient is phosphorus. Then I went back in the history and I realized this is from beginning she was phosphorus. She came from Surat and she was, if you all know, there is one very important single symptom rubric in materia medica of phosphorus is she's alone on an island. And this I knew from my reading and from my knowledge, and then it fit everything, the entire picture. She was behaving as if she's all alone, though her brother-in-law and husband was here, but the amount of feeling lonely and those weeping episodes and the pathologies she developed after coming to Mumbai, and everything fitted well. And then even the theory with mineral, like she's into nutritional line, what she needs is the attention, nurturing, husband coming late, husband not looking after her, that would affect her. But actually that was not a reality. Husband was very good, but this was all her problems. She needed attention, she needed people, she needed friends, she wanted to talk, she wanted outing, she wanted traveling. Complete. And she was good looking, her eyes were very bright, she had very long hair, like everything fitted. I said, why I gave pulsatilla? And then I gave her phosphorus 1M on 22nd April. In June she came. May, I think she had gone to Surat. So she came back in June and she said, I had very severe white discharge after last medicine. So I took allopathy. See what patient does. And after that, she had brown discharge for 1 day and it stopped. So I said, yes. Previously, 2 times, there was no reaction to the remedy. With phosphorus, she reacted, but then she took allopathy for white discharge, for leukaria. She said, lethargy is excused, dreams are still coming, fears are better. I could go out early morning alone. And then one electricity also went off, but I managed. I said, yes, this remedy has touched, so I will hold on. But she had taken allopathic medicine, so I again repeated 1M2 doses once a week. Because in PCOD, they need higher potency. She got her period on 7th June. That came after 5 months. When she came to me in February, March, she had got it in February. And she had a profuse flow, which lasted for 7 days. She said, my appetite has reduced, like craving for chocolates has reduced. I have started workouts. Moods are much better. Fears are much better. White discharge increased again. Sleep better, moods better. Craving for chocolate. But then she had not got that same date period. So again, I repeated phosphorus 1M. So again, after 1M, she had similar white discharge and lot of fungal infection over the groin. And she developed one ulcer over lower lip. I keep getting ulcers every 15 days, which she had not mentioned before in the first history. And she had lost 1 kg. Here I thought, like keeping in mind this early cataract and then this eye inflammation, which can damage the eye, and she could have lost her vision or something very deep and syphilitic pathology. And this ulcer on the lip, So I gave her 1 dose of Merck salt just to clear up that part, because it had a new symptom had come and I had to tackle this symptom. So I gave her Merck salt 200. She got period like this is 4th October. So in July and then in September, she got her period. Like I think cycle became around 40-45 days. And that time she, because she was from Surat, she was really doing up, down. So during that period, when she didn't come to me, she had developed severe breathlessness, an attack of bronchitis. This is the old symptom. And again, she went to those allopathic doctors there. She was nebulized and she was given injections, and then she was a little better. And when she came back to Mumbai, she came back to me. And then she said, in past, I would always get similar episodes and I would be admitted in the hospital. This she had not mentioned. She said I would get bronchitis attack and all, but that time she had not mentioned that she needed hospitalization. Like these attacks used to be so severe. So unless and until you don't handle this kind of acutes with homeopathy, patient will never get better. You really have to convince the patient, don't take allopathy during these attacks, and otherwise you cannot remove these miasmatic, the deeper blocks, and she might go back into PCOD. She said, I'm unable to breathe, I'm sleepless. But when she came to me, her chest was full of bronchi. She was profusely sweating. There were a lot of flatulence and eructations. As phosphorus had worked very well on her, I continued, but I reduced the potency and increased the repetition. So I gave her 200 every 4 hours. And she needed many, and I think almost for 1 week, she must have taken phosphorus, like initially 4 hourly, then 6 hourly. Then I reduced like that. Then on 17th October, I had called her again. And she said, cough and breathlessness is much better, but not completely gone. My anger has increased. My hair loss has increased. I get many dreams now. Mood's not good. And then suddenly she remembered that maybe it can be PMS. Then again, I gave her phosphorus 200. Though RS was clear, I gave her for 2 days. Then she came in November. And she had got period on 2nd November. I think previously she had got on 16th September. So this October she didn't get. Again, for 45-50 days she got. And she had a very severe PMS. But then it settled in 4 days. My sleep is good. My dreams and fears are less. But that time then she was going to travel, like she was going to travel to Kashmir or Himachal, somewhere in north. She said there will be a lot of hills and lot of traveling. So my motion sickness is going to really give me a problem. Should I take allopathy? I said, no allopathy. I will give you medicine. I gave her again phosphorus. When she came back, she said in entire journey, I think she traveled 10-12 days. She had only 2 episodes of vomiting. And she didn't take any allopathic medicine. So we handled even this motion sickness problem. Then she came in December, and that time the period had already come. Like she said, 5th December. So the duration reduced, 33 days cycle. She said, I'm doing yoga. My weight is decreasing. My sleep is still disturbed. But dreams I get many, but I don't recollect. This is a very good sign. Though she's getting dreams, she's not recollecting. So that state is going down. Initially, she would just reach. It was the sleep was almost like she's dreaming. She's awake only. Now she's getting dreams, but she don't recollect. PMS was also less this time. She vomited only twice. Overall, the trip was very good. And she said, I ate a lot of chocolates while traveling. During that phase, again, she had gone to her gynecologist. Like first time when she was not getting periods, the gynecologist had diagnosed the PCOD part. And she had told her that you might need some hormonal treatment and some further line of treatment for if you want to conceive. So she went back to her telling her that my periods have got regular. So the gynecologist told her that she gave her a prescription that you start with this medicine. You take this medicine after your next cycle, like on the 5th day, what they give for ovulation. But I told her no, strictly no. I said, we will wait for a few months. You try natural way and then we'll think. if you don't conceive. Then she came to me again on 24th December with some breathlessness and slight cough and dreams, fears, moods, everything was better. And I had already given her phosphorus as SOS. So she had already taken it before coming to me. And maybe she must have called me. In 15th Jan she came, she said last period was 5th December. Now again it is 40 days. I'm feeling very sleepy. I'm yawning. And I have got sudden increase in frequency of urination. Itching over groin has increased. Have I conceived? I'm anxious about it. I said, we'll just wait. It is just 40 days, so you don't do anything. And even I thought maybe if she was conceived, not conceived. So I didn't give her any remedy. I just continued with SL. In 19th Jan, she called up that pregnancy test is positive. And on 21st Jan, again, she ended up with this episode of cough and breathlessness, and which was very severe. She called me up in the evening. She didn't have SOS medicine, so I told her to buy. She took phosphorus, but it didn't work. And at the end, at middle of the night, she had to go to an allopathic hospital. She took nebulizer, she took some cough syrup, and then she settled. She was pregnant, and maybe her state had changed. She didn't respond to phosphorus at this time. But then later 2 months, she was all okay. And then this was January 20. In March, this lockdown happened. She went to Surat, and I lost the contact. And directly now, then she's sending me this message on October 20. That I'm blessed with a baby boy on 15th September. Thank you so much for making my journey to become a mommy. Nothing less than a dream came true. Thank you so much. I'm very thankful to you and your medicines. It has cured my big issue. This was the photo. And few months back, she had messaged me again that when can I start my child's medicine? But then I told her, I told her anytime, but she has not come back. So little bit of understanding. So for pulsatilla looked very obvious in this case, but then why not pulsatilla? I think in the discussion only we understood. Many of my colleagues, like who are practicing this contemporary method, who are aware of periodic table, understanding of identity and nurturing line, everybody suggested this is a nurturing line. This is a issue of nurturing line, row 3. So if we go with this understanding of plant, mineral and animal kingdom and understanding pulsatilla in that way, then pulsatilla falls into this first subclass, which is Magnolidae. There is issues of beginning of separation from infinity, corresponding to the stage of human embryogenesis, which begins from the moment of fertilization till the formation of fetus. In the beginning of 9th week, no boundary or very weak boundary, too sensitive to external impressions. And there is a common sensation of chaos, confusion, bewilder, be clouded. Like basically that sensitivity issue, there are no borders. I'm very sensitive. This affects me, that affects me, nothing. She talked about a lot of craving, but she never said. Pulsatilla patient would always come and tell me, I know if I eat this, this will happen. If I eat this, this will happen. So they have a lot of food allergies. Here, there was nothing like that. Here, the main issue that I feel very lonely. I need company. I need people. I need somebody to take my care. So this is what is the row 3, identity, relationship and nourishment. The issue in the third row follows separation and birth into developing one's identity and the expression of it like image, choice and ego. The feeling is I am separate, but who am I? In this stage, the child needs warmth, nourishment, care and emotional support. There are also issues of growth and development. So if we understand phosphorus and sodium, natrum, magnesium, alumina, silica, phosphorus, all these remedies, through this understanding along with the materia medica, the confidence of giving a prescription becomes more than 100%. Like once you give the prescription, there is no need to change the remedy, no need to think that have I given a right remedy or not. This is what happens when you learn the new methods, the confidence. Just little bit periodic table, and this is the third row. All those who are new with this system, this is a little bit for them only. Most of you know all this, I know that, but all those who doesn't know, I put up just gist of this. So what are the issues in row 1 to 7? This is like existence, and row 2 is a separation from womb. Like baby is in the womb and there will be a separation. So what kind of symptoms they develop, all that. Then in row 3 is the care, nourishment, and identity. Row 4 is security, task, duty, creativity and performance. Responsibility and power is row 6. Like Aurum, we all know, gold series. Or row 5 is creativity and performance, argentum line. Row 4, we call it as a calcarea line, security, task, duty. Row 7, destruction and degeneration. And all this understanding has been taken from the common remedies which we know, we have prescribed. Like if you see in row 4, we know calcarea, we know ferrum, we know arsenic. And if you see security, task, duty, these are all common symptoms of all these remedies. So that becomes a row 4 issue, and you can apply these issues to other remedies and expand your prescriptions. So what happens in row 3? In row 3, natrum, magnesium, and aluminum identity that has not developed. So this is an identity row. So on the left side, it is not developed, and on the right side, it is developed. Whatever is the issue. And they are losing it. Silica has a fixed, because silica is in the middle. So silica has a fixed identity. We all know this about silica. Phosphorus is the first element where they experience this identity as apart from what is being given to them. So in this case, we didn't see this very clearly, but in many of the phosphorus cases, no, their decisions are very strong. Though they want people around them, they are very sympathetic, they are very giving, caring, loving kind. But if you ask them, no, they say, I take my own decisions. I don't depend on anybody for my decisions. In sulfur, the identity develops further ego. Further to ego. If you read the April newsletter of Musing, like which is on the sulfur, you will really understand sulfur thoroughly, because there are case examples, some beautiful cases, and the theory part. Sulfur is done thoroughly in that Musing magazine. Chlorine, like muriaticum, has an identity completely opposite of what is given to them. So when natrum combines with chlorine, there are two opposites in that. And all these understandings came from whom? Like Dr. Shankaran and Dr. Sholton. They were the pioneers of understanding minerals from the periodic table. So what Dr. Sholton writes in his book Minerals, like in phosphorus, the common symptoms are communication, sympathetic, friends, acquaintance, neighbors, brothers, homesickness, curiosity and travel, restlessness and fears. So this is all symptom of communication. But in the next line, what he writes is, there is, however, one side of phosphorus which is the complete opposite of this openness. We see this in the delusion that he is alone and isolated on a little island. There is a total absence of contact. He is as isolated as Robinson Crusoe. In college days, no, we really used to wonder that why phosphorus is there in the rubric reserved, and I think it is 3 to 4 marks. This delusion explains it. Though he is surrounded by many people, why there is so much of need? Because actually phosphorus cannot share the innermost problem with anybody. They always feel they are alone and isolated on a little island, even if surrounded by 100 people. This is what I have seen in many of my cases where I have given phosphorus. So any questions? Acha, differentiation with Kali. Yeah, Kali, when I forgot her name, but when she said about Kali Phos, that was a very good choice of the remedy. And she actually was fighting with the husband also. But when I was doing the case, Kali element didn't come in my mind. When you Kali, no, those patients, they start troubling you in the clinic only. She was not like that. That this Kali feeling didn't come into my thinking at all. Any other question? We have 10 more minutes. Anything if you want to discuss, ask. I had one more case, but then that I think we can do it later.
Ma'am, there is a question to differentiate it with chocolate.
Okay. So chocolate is also the same, like subclass 3, subclass 4 and row 3 is the same issues: nurturing, identity. But in chocolate, what is the most, like, connection with the mother is very, very important. In nurturing issues, in natrum line also, connection with mother is very important. But in phosphorus, it is on the right side. The connection with the mother, it comes in the first 3: natrum, magnesium, silica, those. In this case, did you hear about anywhere talking about mother? Like, not a single time. This mother thing never came. She wanted nurturing and care from husband. So whosoever is available nearby, no, she is needing that is from that person. So maybe you can take that as a mothering. But in chocolate, that this you want it, but you are not taking it. You are detaching it. There is this attachment and detachment. Like, that person is not available who used to give you nurturing and caring. You are detached. That hedgehog, no? In the proving of chocolate, this dreams of hedgehog had come frequently. And this animal, no, after giving birth, just for a few days, take care of the babies and they just leave them all alone. They are not there. So this feeling of, I had presented one case of chocolate in the basic course, and in that case, I'll give you this example. That lady, no, her mother had died. And then she was pregnant and then she delivered and she developed postpartum, this depression kind of thing. And that time she really used to miss her mother so much that the time when I needed you most, you are not available. Something like that. Here, in this case, what happened, that situationally she lost the connection with the family member, but she never spoke that I'm missing and I'm just sitting, and she was more important for her that I feel very lonely. Even if her mother-in-law would come and stay, no, she would be happy. I think it was there. She told that even if my mother-in-law goes away, no, I start crying. So what was more important in this case, like, she needed that company. She needed somebody to sit and talk with her. There was no issue of this attachment and detachment. Anything else? Somebody is telling, please, one more case. Oh, that will take half an hour more, I think. We'll have more sessions on now, something similar topic, integrating basics and contemporary, like classical and contemporary. I really want to share my clinical experience with all of you.
Sure, ma'am. But these 2 cases were actually a very good understanding of the commonest remedies that we use in the practice. But
yeah, and forgot many a times, no, we forget. See, what is happening, we have to stick to our basics. We can't forget what we have studied in this 5.5 years. You cannot forget. Whatever extra is coming, it's building. It's like a small fern, a Lycopodium, no? And then you are growing. You can't lose your roots. So that is very important. But at the same time, you can't stop growing. You can't say, no, this much is enough. And the entire practice, this much is enough. Like when we were in school, no, we hardly heard name of computers. And now we see these mobiles and the computers in this much size. In like 30 years, so much advancement in technology. I think everything grows, everything evolves. We have to evolve with time. We can't forget the basics. But I think the technology in the computer is the same. Some person who must have invented computer, we can't forget that person. But at the same time, the technologically, the advancement, the new things, we are all ready. We accept it so easily. The same thing happens with everything in life. New taste we develop. Italian food we never heard, no, when we were young. We had only this pav bhaji, then pizza came, and then all this pasta. And in these 20 years, everything has come into our every routine life. Same way, you add all these new recipes in your routine day-to-day practice, and it will happen. You keep reading, you keep attending the sessions, the whatever comes in your way, like attending Dr. Ashok Borkar. If I tell you, I went and sat with him for 15 days, few years back. Excellent prescriber, excellent cases. I'm in touch with Dr. Gajanan. Anytime in some difficult cases, especially pathological cases, we take advice, we talk. So it's mutual. You have to take from everywhere, apply it, and then go ahead. So we stop. It's almost 4. Anybody wants to say anything or we can take up 1 or 2 questions if needed.
Reni, I just wanted to ask a question.
Yes.
In the first case, you prescribed Lyco. I just wanted to ask whether any strong physical general that we studied in the first year, the right-sidedness and 4 to 8 p.m. aggravation.
Yeah, she had no photo. She said after 4 p.m. I close my books.
Okay,
and by 6 p.m.
So
my moods are worst. I become depressed. My pains increases. Everything increases.
Okay,
and milk
so
aggravation. Milk aggravation, flatulence with the milk.
Flatulence, yes. Okay.
A lot of flatulence and milk aggravation. If I tell you, no, second time when she came, no, I just went because those were the time that this sensation and this plant theory I had learned. So I was giving every patient a new plant. So in her case also, she talked a lot about friends, and then I don't know what I messed up, but I had given a remedy called Popaiva. And initially she was responding also. And I thought this would be one of the best prescription by me. And then it stopped working. And then she stopped medicine. Like she was so much aggravated. So what you have to really see, every case is different. Some patient will just come and talk about their sensations. The chief complaint is so important that you forget everything else and just prescribe on chief complaint and patient is better. Some patient you really have to dig and understand. And this second case of phosphorus, the history was not very big. If you see, the issues also not that big. Living a simple life, got married, no financial stress, no, in fact, mother-in-law not there. So that is also very happy, no stress, I think. But still she had stress. So just understand what happened, how pathology started and what happened and what is in the past history. I still feel this case of phosphorus is not treated completely because her miasms is not covered completely. She would need more medication. Somebody developing cataract and then eye problem and so much of bronchitis, she may come back. She may need some other remedies too.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And ma'am, there is one question by Dr. Aarti. In the first case, when so much talk of capability, so why not a mineral from 5th row?
Yeah, but you don't see that weight, no, a mineral from 5th row would be performing. There would be a lot of anxiety of performance. But there, you see that capability, already they are capable of performing. Here, there was no capacity of performing. The ambition was too high, but her capacity was low. Everybody could see except her. And that's where we always, everybody around her thought that CA she cannot do. If it is a mineral, the mineral personality would do CA easily. 5th row personality. Yeah, anticipatory anxiety before exams and all those things. But then when performance comes, they are able to perform. Here, though, even starting, reading is a problem. Writing is a problem. So it is much basic issue, not like row 5th. Row 5th, people are already developed. Like strontium, argentum, they are already at one level. You see that when they come to the clinic, no, you know they have some capacity, and then they are finding to maintain it or to sustain it or to reach there.
I guess we can call it a day then.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Those were really wonderful cases that we heard. I'm so sorry for the background noise.
And Dr. Manali, we are looking forward to learn more from Reni. Dr. Reni, arrange at least one session every month.
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Yeah. I enjoy doing this kind of case studies. We can always do that. But one last thing I would like to tell all the participants that we already have done basic course in the Musing last year, and we have recordings, and we might do again this year. So all those people that who are interested, who want to start with the basic or just revise your basic, just look forward for our further notifications. And understanding of repertory, like we are having it from tomorrow only. So picking up the right rubric, understanding the patient's language and how to transfer it into the repertory language. These are very important things which we really need to understand and learn and relearn. So that's why homeopathic healing, like they are doing excellent job. They are repeating the same kind of seminars this year again. Like last year repertory intensive they did. That is not over. Repertory every year you have to learn, you have to advance, you have to understand, because everything is important. And best part what has happened in Corona, that we are getting everything sitting at home. We don't have to travel, we don't have to carry our tiffins, nothing. And the recordings are there. You don't even have to sit at that moment to watch. You can watch it anytime.
So as Dr. Reni said, we are starting the course from tomorrow with Dr. Arshi, and she'll be taking on rapid prescribing, and further it would be taken by Dr. Alpesh, Dr. Kushala and Dr. Pallavi. So anytime if you feel like joining us for this course, do let us know. I'll share the details here on the chat box and the contact numbers how you could contact us. Or you could write to us on homeopathymusings@gmail.com. And looking forward to learning BOA this entire month, and getting cases from all of you, your experiences in BOA as well. So you can start finding out the cases which you have successfully treated and start sharing it on the Musings group for further learning for everyone. Thank you so much everyone for joining today. I hope you all liked the session. We'll meet again on 16th April, Saturday, with another speaker. We'll shortly send the details of the further musings. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, ma'am. Thank you so much. Have a good day, everyone. And once again, wish you all a very happy Gudi Padwa and a happy New Year. Yeah.